Hey guys, welcome to this episode of the CE Tool Den. On today's episode, we have two brand new Doyle products. We have the 8-in-1 magnetic nut driver that does sizes 1/4 inch, 5/16, 11/32, 3/8, 7/16, 1/2 inch, 9/16, and 1/4 inch square. All right, here it is. Lifetime warranty, of course. Hollow shafts for driving nuts deep onto bolts or threaded rod. Model SKU number 70708. It is made in Taiwan. It says 1/4 inch, 5/16, 11/32, 3/8, and 1/2 inch nut drivers have strong rare earth magnets to securely hold nuts and bolts. 7/16 and 9/16 sizes feature a spring coil that securely holds nuts and bolts in place without the use of magnets. 1/4 inch, 5/16, 3/8, 7/16, and 9/16 sizes feature hollow shafts allowing for deep nut engagement on bolts or threaded rods. Durable ball detent 1/4 inch socket adapter included for a wide variety of applications. And then wrench assist for added torque, color-coded bands for quick and easy identification, cushion grip handle for greater comfort and control. And there's your picture of the setup of the shaft with all the nut drivers and everything that goes with it. All right, and here is the 11-in-1 magnetic multi-bit screwdriver nut driver, rare earth magnets for strong fastener. Includes the number 1, number 2 Phillips, slotted 1/4 inch and 3/16, Torx in T10 and T15. Square number 1, number 2 nut drivers, 3/8, 5/16, and 1/4 inch, just standard. Also magnetic. SKU number is going to be 70761. Integrated magnetic barrel holds 8 popular tips and easily converts to 3 different nut driver sizes. Industrial heat-treated bits for added durability. Rare earth magnets for strong fastener retention. Interchangeable shaft for added convenience. Blast finished bit tips for a firmer hold and reduction of cam out. Cushion grip handle for greater comfort and control. There's your loadout right there. We'll move that up. And then lifetime warranty and made in Taiwan. All right, so let's open up the packages and see how they feel, and we'll try them out. All right, we're going to start off with the 8-in-1 magnetic nut driver. And according to the picture, they have it laid out like this. I guess this is the way, the orientation that they say is the best way to put it together. So I guess it's all in the same shaft without being kind of wonky. So the shaft itself is rounded, but the outside's got that hex pattern. So if you needed to use this in a big hex, you can definitely get it done. Let's see how all this attaches together. Let's find out. All right, so it says like this, and like this. And there's your 11/32 on the outside. Now let's put this bad boy in here. I will say this. Well, that's pretty tight, guys. That's a tight one. It's gonna take probably a little bit of breaking in to get it out of there. You're gonna have to definitely pull a little bit extra, put a little bit extra mustard on that one. All right, so this is the full put together. It is a little bulky. It is comfortable enough on the hand. I like the grip. For comparison's sake, we're gonna use the 9-in-1 Klein 32809 MAG. This is the 9-in-1 SAE, because this is SAE. There's no metric for this. We do have a metric for Klein. And then we'll have the 8-in-1 Milwaukee. And this Milwaukee feels good in the hand too. I gotta say, between all 3 of these, man, that's a tough one. I'm gonna give it to the Klein, just very slightly, for grip. I mean, I like the grip on this. I don't know. I would say Klein, Milwaukee, then Doyle. Doyle's got this like square lobe design. I think the edges on this are a little bit too aggressive, but it's got, this whole thing is all rubbery though. It does, like I said, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. It feels good in the hand. I like the way it feels in my hand. It is thicker. It's thicker than the Klein. and definitely thicker than the Milwaukee, because the Klein is thicker than the Milwaukee. But I don't know. The Klein has got a little bit more cushion, where the Milwaukee is just more like a little bit more plain. It's not as aggressive like these two are, and so that does feel good in the hand, and this rubbery grip feels good. But I think the Klein edges it up because of the little extra cushion factor, and then this one's just aggressive. I think they should have smoothed out the edges on this, and it would have been one of the like a better contender for grip wise. I mean, I do like the grip. Now that being said, the only one of these three, and I think it might have to do with patent issues. This one has the full pass through the handle. These two do not, and I can see why, because a patent issue. You know, I don't think the Doyle and Milwaukee can get away with that, especially after Milwaukee sued Klein with the Modbox pack out debacle. But it is what it is. But this, I mean, they both feel good in the hand. The Doyle seems to be a lot bigger. The Milwaukee's bigger than the Klein, but definitely not as big as the Doyle. Doyle really stands out when it comes to size. Really big. This thing is big and thick. I mean, if you don't mind that, then go for it. This one feels good in the hand. This one feels good in the hand. I don't know. Ergonomically, I think because of weight and grip, I'm going to give it to the Milwaukee in this instance. All right? Just based on ergonomics. Not that this grip is better than this one. I think this one edges it out very, very slightly, guys. The Doyle, like I said, is too aggressive with the edges here. I like the Doyle. Don't get me wrong. I like the Doyle. I love all Doyle products. I really like this. I bought all this stuff at Harbor Freight the other day. I mean, it's good. I like the way it feels in the hand. The rubbery grip part. It's got this extra long acetate. I think they went with a longer design, if you look at it, because they're not allowed to have that full pass-through. So they want to give you as much pass-through as you can get because of probably patent issues, because you can get away with it with the Klein. That's why the Klein is shining in this category, because they probably have the patent on this, and they're not allowed to. The Milwaukee and the Doyle aren't allowed to. So they probably give you a little bit more real estate in the Doyle just so you can get as much pass-through as possible. I mean, that's understandable, guys. You can't fault Doyle. Doyle can't do anything about it. You know what I mean? If it is what it is, that's what it is. So, I mean, this is it. I mean, look how much thicker the steel is. Like, it is thick just in this part. I guess it's about as thick in this area, too. And then Milwaukee seems a little bit slightly thinner. Definitely thinner in this section. Let me get this one out. And we'll get this one out. I mean, right here, these two are about the same, the Milwaukee and the Klein. But the Doyle offers you a different type of system with these little fins and the ball detent. Again, this is so they probably don't impede on infringement stuff. Again, that's understandable. I can't see that any other way. You know what I mean? They got to do their own thing. They got to, without step on Klein's toes. This thing is really deep, guys. I'm gonna gander to believe that this is the reason why. So you're limited as to what you can do design wise, but they did a good job. They made it their own. This one does have the 9/16 here. You have the 5/16 here, the 3/8 over here, and everything's color coded. And then you have the inside over here for the 9/16. 7/16 on this side. Oops. There's your 7/16. Here is your 1/4" magnetic with your 1/4" socket drive. I like this feature, guys. This is a really good feature. I know the Milwaukee has one, And I think the Klein might have one. I can't remember. I haven't used that in a long time. Uh, but this is nice. I like this. I mean, it's pretty good for what it is. This is some kind of spring mechanism in there. You see the spring? Probably for these fins. I don't know. The ball. Oh, for the ball detent over here. Okay, that's probably what it is. That's got to be what it is. And then again, you have your really hollow all the way to the end of the cap insertion over there. I gotta say, not bad. And it's perfectly round. There's your grooves right there for the fins. Not much more to say on this. I mean, this is magnetic. This is the 3/8. It does seem to be a little deeper. And this 5/16 has some deeperness. All right, let's check something out. I have an idea. I want to try something out. That's magnetic. You can put a 5/16 bit in there, but it'll fall out. The magnet on this isn't very strong. If that is a magnet. I mean, it feels like a magnet, but it's very weak. Let's try a bit on the 1/4 inch. This has a magnet. And yep, the magnet on this feels light also, but it feels a little bit stronger than the 5/16. See, I can shake it. And you can, in a pinch, not that this is meant to hold as a bit holder, but in a pinch, you can use this as a bit holder. But it's not a bit holder, just to let you guys know, because it like literally pops out too much. But if you needed to use this nut driver as a bit holder, you can use it. It's just in a pinch. Just saying, guys. And then, I love, this is the part I like, is this socket drive. We'll put this Quinn socket in here. Wow. The magnet on this Quinn socket drive is pretty awesome. It does kind of stick out a little bit into the socket holder. So this is a 9.5 inch socket. Yeah, look at this. This is actually stronger than the magnets inside the nut drivers. They should have used this magnet in the nut drivers. I think that would have been better, because you could have used this. Look. That's a good magnet, guys. Why didn't they do that? I don't understand. Yeah, it's a much better magnet. I don't know if it's something blocking it or whatever. I don't know. But I mean, it is good. This is a nice screwdriver, guys. It really is. Let's try it out on some things over here. That one's not going to fit. Let's try it. 9/16 on this one. Nope, that's too big. Let's find the right size. That's a 7/16. This, nope. I could have sworn this was a 9/16, but maybe it's a 1/2 inch. And do I have a 1/2 inch? Yes, I have the 1/2 inch. So, yep. Let's try that out and see how that works. All right, we got the 1/2 inch over here. Engagement on this is pretty darn good. I gotta say, I really like this. I can understand why they have these grooves a little bit sharper on the handle. It actually helps aid in turning something that's tight to loosen or to tighten. I can understand that. You know, I can see the benefit of that. It's not, like I said, it's not as comfortable as the Klein, but I also see that it does have an advantage. All right, let's try this. Here is a 1/2 inch Quinn socket on the socket drive. Let's see how that fits on the 1/2 inch over here. So if you put that socket drive, yep. So you have your option choices for your setup over here. I gotta say, I like this. Here is a 5/16. Let's flip this around. And let's try the 5/16 on this bolt. That's a 5/16. Yeah, I gotta say, works good. Works pretty good. I like it. I mean, it is what it is. You can also put other types of adapters, like a 1/4-inch socket drive. On that socket drive that comes on this, you can put a 1/4-inch socket drive adapter to a 1/4-inch hex, and then you can put regular bits in that, and that's another good way of looking about it. So you could potentially use real 1-inch bits without having to use the 1/4-inch nut driver part of this, and you can go that route. I mean, there's options over here. I like this. It's not going to be a solid recommend for me, but it's a good choice. It's an alternative to what's out there, guys. And I like this. I'm not going to deny this. I like it. It's got its advantages. I do out of all of these, I want to say I do prefer the Klein the best, because they have the main version of this. And I do like the Milwaukee. Milwaukee did a great job with this setup. I got nothing bad to say about the Milwaukee. I mean, I like the Milwaukee, but I think overall the Klein is the better option. But I can see, the usefulness of the Milwaukee and the Doyle. I like the Doyle. Doyle's really good. It's not outstanding. It's not gonna blow things up. I'm not gonna, I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. It's a good option for you guys, especially at 35% off during parking lot sales or those types of sales. This is good. I would say this is more of a get during one of those sales than regular price. I paid regular price because I wanted to do the review on this. But overall, I mean, I like it. It is bigger. It is heavier. Those are the pros and cons that we have to deal with. That's one of the cons, is the bigger, bulkier, heavierness of it. It doesn't have the full pass-through, but that's not probably the fault of Doyle. That's probably the fault of patents, and it is what it is. They can't make it exactly like the Klein, because the Klein is the Klein. Klein is the OG originator, the preferred to everybody. But Milwaukee did a great job with this. So I gotta say, I'm giving the Doyle. It's a good one. It's a good one. Just options. Just options, you guys. Now let's get into the 11-1. Here's your standard 11-1. Now the grip on this compared to that, this is a small grip. This feels awesome, guys. It's got a little bit of aggressiveness, similar kind of grip to this, but this isn't as sharp of aggressiveness of rubber. I think it's because just the bulkiness of it, the way it's made. This feels really good in the hand, guys. The grip on this is fantastic. Like, second to none. Let's compare that to some of my other offerings here. We have a 13-1 magnetic Milwaukee, and this feels, guys, I really love this handle. I really do. I love the ergonomics on this Milwaukee. I've always said it. Yeah, this has these grooves and shapes, but it still feels very comfortable. It's not like this. You know what I mean? This, even though it's kind of similar of a style, I just think that this just feels good in the hand. The Milwaukee. This feels very good. This actually I feel like the Doyle is more grippier. Here is an 11-1 Blackout Edition by Klein, and this also feels fantastic. I mean, it really is kind of like pick your poison here. They're all great. And now here's another one that is of the Quinn. I paid $3.99 for this at one of the ITC membership deals last year during the Christmas season. This is another great grip. I love this. I love the Quinn screwdriver grips. I can't get enough of it. I think the Quinn screwdrivers are fantastic grips. But again, this is a pick your poison. Now the Quinn's going to be a little thicker than these because of the width here. But I still think that's a fantastic grip. This really is a pick your poison when it comes to grip ergonomics. Like, I can tell you this. Honestly, I can't really decide on who's the best grip because they're different, but they all feel great to me. I can definitely tell you with those nut drivers, which I like better. But I really enjoy all of these. I really do. For one reason or another, ergonomically. This Doyle is fantastic. I just love them all. I love them all. The Doyle's really, now it just comes to the serviceability. What can this do? It's pretty much the same. So you got your magnetic features there. There's your square 1, square 2 with the little ball detent bit. There's your adapter. So you got to have a ball, because if you try to put a 1-inch regular bit, I don't think that would hold. Actually, it does hold. It's magnetic at the bottom, but it sinks in deeper. Wait a minute, guys. I got an idea. All right, check this out, guys. Here is your holder. It holds these little bits. All right, so we can't really use one of these because it really sinks in deep. I mean, you can still use it, these 1-inch bits, and it's got a magnetic hold, so it's not ideal. But check this out. Here's a 2-inch bit. Watch this. You can get away with using a 2-inch bit without these. Okay, this is something that we've never seen before. Because the other ones, I don't think the other ones can do that. Because you're supposed to use the ball detent. And if you put I don't think the other ones have a magnetic stop at the bottom. So this is actually really great. All right. I'm calling me impressed right now. I'm going to check to see the other ones. I don't really use the other ones. I use my ratcheting one. The ratcheting one doesn't have this type of feature. So this is your T10, T15 right here. Again, you can put the 2-inch bit and it works great. All right. Now we have your, I think that's going to be, is that 5/16? No, bigger than that. It's got that's got to be 3/8. This has got to be a 5/16. I don't want to go all the way down, but here's a 5/16 bit. Oh, jeez Louise. I think I got it stuck. I got to get it unstuck. Hold on. All right, I got it unstuck. I used tweezers. That didn't work out. Yeah, this thing's really, it goes down pretty far, like down here. So these are not super, they're very shallow. Here's your number 2 Phillips with your 1/4-inch slotted flathead. And then here is your number 1 Phillips with, I forgot what size this was. 3/16 slotted. And then let's see if this one has that same. Yep. So you can use regular 2-inch bits on this, guys. I like that. So let's try it out. There you go. You can use ECX Milwaukee bits or anything in the 2-inch variety. Anything like 1.5 or 2 inches. 1.5 would come out perfect too, if you can find one. There's some doing 1.5 bits out there. I like this. This is actually nice. Now let's compare it to the Quinn, the Klein, and the Milwaukee A. Here's the Milwaukee A. Does this have the feature for the? Yep, this one does have the feature. See, I've never thought about using that in that vicinity, in that manner. Here is a. This one has no magnetic feature on the Quinn. That's a bummer. So that would fall out. So that's not a feature for the Quinninator. Let's try to see if Klein doesn't have it. No feature for Klein. That's crazy, guys. Look at that. Yep, so yeah, the Klein lacks that feature. Wow. I think we might have a winner here. It's going to be a toss-up between the Klein, I mean the Milwaukee, and the Doyles. I got to say, that's impressive. Yeah, it's pretty much, everything is going to be the same for the most part, but the fact that the Milwaukee offers a magnetic 1/4-inch holder in here puts this slightly ahead of the Klein. Not because of ergonomics or anything like that, but because of that extra feature where you can add extra bits. So the Doyle is approved. I guess I can't help it, guys. This is a nice little addition to the story over here of what can the Doyle, what does it offer? And it offers flexibility. And I can't believe I'm going to say this, but that's pretty amazing that it has that. And then it has all the regular. So I got to say, Doyle knocked it out of the park with this one. Now, like with the nut driver, I can understand because of the patents, but this is nice, guys. I really like this. So here it is. So there's your screwdriver with the little ball detent bits, but you don't need the ball detents thanks to magnets inside. Now look, you have a regular driver, 2-inch bits or 1.5 inches. Let's try this out and see how this part is. All right, we're going to put a screwdriver in this place. Oh, the bits are magnetic. Look. Look at that. And it's got a pretty strong magnet. Not like Klein strong, but really strong. Actually, let's try something because this is I'm impressed. Look at that. I got 4 screws, guys. Let's see if we can pick up 5 screws. Oops, almost picked up 5. Let's try it. I don't know if I'll be able to. Almost 5. Well, 4 screws. You know what? Let's try the screw. Let's see how the bit holder is. The engagement of the Phillips head. It's nice. It's good. All right, let's try this. I'm trying this out now. Let me get this thing out. Actually, you know what? Let's try this. Here's the 5/16. I believe this is the 5/16. Yep. Let's unscrew this. Beautiful grab on this 5/16 head on this lag. All right, let's put this back in. Let's put the screw into the wood. There you go. Oops, came out on me a little bit. That's my fault. I like the way the grips are on this. All right. Assessment time now, guys. This is assessment time. I'm going to tell you how I feel and what I feel. Wow. Color me thoroughly impressed with this. I am impressed. Doyle is my recommend. This is a recommend, guys. I love the grip. I love the features. I love the bit selection. I love that fact that you can bypass this ball detent nonsense that a lot of these places. I mean, I can understand why they do ball detents, but at the same time, you can go with the regular 1/4-inch bit without the ball detent, as long as the bit is 1.5 inches to 2 inches. I can't get enough of how good this is. Let's see this. Now, this doesn't have the perfect amount of lockage here, but it locks enough. But the fact that this does accept the 1/4-inch bits, yeah, this is versatile. And for me, versatility is a massive factor because it means you have to bring less screwdrivers, lighter loads. You have a lot of the features and versatility that this is going to have that the Klein doesn't offer you. I love the Klein. Don't get me wrong. I love the Klein. I love what it does, but it's limited to the ball detent style of bits. But we can fix that by using the Mega Pro bits and those other cheap bits I got on Amazon. You can use those on this. So that's your versatility with that. But with this one, absolutely. Absolutely. Now watch this, guys. Check this out. Look at this versatility for you. A 1-inch, a 2-inch, quarter-inch socket drive. Right? Check this out. Now you have a nut driver. Look at that. Take any quarter-inch socket. You got a nut driver with this. Versatility galore. Thanks to the, and the magnet's good on this. Very good magnet. Yes, absolutely. High recommend for me. This is a winner in the Doyle category. Made in Taiwan. I'm loving this. This is a go. This is not a recommend go, but this is it's your choice. I would not buy this at regular price. I would buy this on a parking lot sale deal. One of them 30, 35% off. I wouldn't even pay 25% off. 30 or 35, that's it. Not their fault because you got patents, and that's it. It's the patents, guys. But I like this. I don't like it. I'm not in love with it. I like it, but I'm not in love with it. I'm in love with this one. The Klein just wins. But on this one, 100% go. 100% go. Highly recommend. That's my opinion on this video. Take it for what it's worth, guys. Whatever you guys put in the comments, what you guys think. Perfect to me. This is excellent. All right. So if you guys like this video, hit the like button, subscribe, share, hit the bell for notifications. As always, have yourselves a good day, good night. Hype the videos if you can. And we're going to screw ourselves out of here because the CE Tool Den is out Doyle style.